Welcome to Mother Russia, host of the best racetrack in the world, Sochi, at the Sochi Olympic Park, host of the best Winter Olympics, the 6th of 6 street circuits on the OC calendar. None are as good as this one, that's why we're the last one. The 5th time we've been here in Russia. Should be more. 2 teams winning here over the past 4 seasons, Mercedes dominating. Anyway, welcome everyone to the Russian Grand Prix here at Sochi. Now, after Singapore, which was an unbelievable race, as it always is, but unfortunately the last Singapore Grand Prix there, of course, we had Armakar taking the points lead just ahead of Florian Volker in the Mercedes. And we're here in Russia where anything can happen, of course, being another street circuit. Who knows what's going to happen here? 53 laps around the Sochi Autodrome. 5.848 kilometers, 19 corners for that record set by Joseph Willers last season of 134.386. I imagine that record is probably going to be beaten this year. A lot of them have been. The tyres we'll be using for this race will be the soft tyres. And the driver of the day from last time out was George Roque for a impressive 4th position. So close to getting a podium. Well, I say so close. The top 2 or so were well clear of everyone. But anyway, here is the starting grid for the Russian Grand Prix. And on the front row is Florian Volker ahead of Armakar, the 2 title rivals, first and second, or cars first and second, but you know what I mean. Anyway, Joseph Willers 3rd and Franco Lopez 4th for Ferrari Mercedes, because Willers, who's had a lot of bad luck, happened once again in Singapore. On row 3 we have the 2 Red Bulls of Nicholas Gau and Joel Hutton. None of them had a particularly great season, to be honest. On row 4 we have the 2 Force Indias of Thierry Nautun and Roda Moitian as well. Better qualifying from them as well. I think one of the few times they've actually qualified in the top 10, the Force Indias. Row 5 of the grid we have Paulino Tomaselli for Sauber and Evan Byrne at 10th for Renault. On row 6 of the grid we have Laura Chung for Toro Rosso and Roberta Gamba 12th for McLaren. On the 7th of the grid we have George Roque for Haas and Jamie Kessie for Renault, former teammates in the OC. On the 8th of the grid we have Lean Campana for Williams and Franco Gamba 16th for Haas. That is row 8 of the grid. On row 9 we have Gabriel Gomez for Sauber and Felix Sontag 18th for Williams. On row 10 of the grid we have Enis Barachki for Toro Rosso and Kirosa de Rosa 20th for McLaren. And on the final row of the grid we have the 2 manners of Maxime Titkov in front of his home fans, of course, and Etienne Jones, his teammates. Now, before we get into the race, we have team news. So Felix Sontag will remain at Williams next season, but crucially, Chris Chatfield, who is the current leader of GP2, will be promoted to drive for Haas next season. So we will have, once again, a new driver in the top tier next season, so I'm very happy for Chris as well. Could have been in it this season as well, had his sign-up choices been better, but he's finally in it now. He'll be very happy about that. Now, the weather-wise for this race, there will be 0% chance of rain, and it will be a sunny race. Now, here we go. The 2 title rivals on the front row of the grid. Volker in first, Carr in second, and ideally Volker will want to stay there to retake the championship lead that he lost back in Singapore, as we now have 5 lights that are coming on. And we're underway here at Russia, and it looks like Volker's made an okay start, but I think Carr might just about be alongside him as they go through the first corner. Carr is alongside him, and he might be overtaking him. It's a long run down to what is essentially the first corner that they went past the slower Anders. That's turn 1, but this is turn 2. Now Volker is on the outside. Carr is going to take the lead, and no, is Volker going to go around the outside? Yes, and Willers is going to go past as well. So Carr, who looked to have made a better start, has dropped down to 3rd, and we've got a yellow flag out of the first corner already. And oh, there's a massive crash, and Jay McKenzie and Franco Gamba are the 2 drivers that are out, and what has happened to them? And I wonder if anyone else has been involved in that too, but a lot of damage. Here we are looking on board with Franco Gamba in the Haas. He was coming up towards the first corner, so he lost a lot of momentum there. All the cars moving about. It's very tricky, of course, lots of slipstream here. So did he get ran into? I believe he did. Oh, he unfortunately got hit and ran into the Williams, who somehow didn't get any damage. And this is on board with Sontag. And Felix Sontag was the one who did it. So he went into Gamba then. I think Gamba got hit from behind. It must have been by McKenzie. This was the onboard from Laura Chung. Did she get damage as well? And yes, she did. So McKenzie got hit by the McLaren. That's why he was out. So a whole host of things happened there. And here's Maxime Titkov, who's moved up a few positions here. And he's going to try and make a move past Gomez. Is going past Kafano. Oh my word! Titkov has absolutely launched it down the inside there. What an incredible move that was. Blimey. And of course in his home Grand Prix he's wanting to impress. But wow, so what a start. So at the moment Volker leads. Willers is second and Carr is third. And Carr will be wanting to get back past Willows immediately, because of course he's in a title fight, whereas Willows isn't really. And now Roke on the inside, and oh my word, they both go way off the circuit. Roke somehow holds it and comes right back into the path of Titkoff there. Now Titkoff's trying to go on the inside of Roke. Titkoff himself has made a great start. Roke just about holds 11th, and unfortunately for Roberto Gamba, he got shoved out wide, and he got punished for that. So he is dropped to the back of the field there. So that was an incredible move there by Roke. He really was not backing out of that one. He really went for it. With this long left hand, you can see moving to the right, and then suddenly, as that's coming launching down the inside, and then unfortunately Gamba spun. I don't think there was actually contact. It looked like there was, but I think Gamba just lost it going wide. But at the moment, Volker has got a comfortable lead ahead of Willows, although he has got light fuel, so that probably explains it. So I don't know if Volker's actually going to be doing the 3-stop or not. I'm not sure it'd be a particularly great idea. Here's now turned in 6th. Well, that might not be 6th anymore. He's gone wide. That's going to allow the Red Bull to go past of Hutter. Now Tomasetti goes past. He's going to try and get past Hutter as well. He's on the inside, and yes, he does. So great move there by Tomasetti. Moichin's actually moved above past his teammate as well. So a whole number of positions there. So Tomasetti going past the turning went wide, had the momentum, and also went past Hutter in the Red Bull in front of him. Good move there by the Italian. This was now a turn on board with him, just made a mistake and went wide, and that's actually one of the key places where you can make overtakes as well. But also, of course, one place where you can easily make mistakes, and see now Turner gets absolutely swallowed there by 3 cars. Meanwhile, we look at Volker right now in the lead of this race, having a pretty easy time, but of course that could easily change. Now here is George Rock trying to get on the inside of Evan Byrne, and here we are looking at Miklas Gau, and Gau's got a problem. No, his engine is on fire, so that it clearly isn't good. So Miklas Gau is out of the race, and his, quite frankly, horrific season continues. So his race is over, and so there we are. And he goes out, as they have a little bit of a technical issue there. But nonetheless, we don't need... the technical issue certainly doesn't go from the fact that Gal is out of this race. So still going around, but he's going to pull off just there, I think. And then the marshals will take him away and put the fire out. But unfortunately for Gal, his season again has just not been good. He's under pressure, and could this be it for him? I don't know. We'll see. But as we look through the rest of the order now, Gal is out. Car gets pushed away. Roberto Gamba's there at the back, trying to get past Jones. So there we go. This is on board with Gabriel Gomez, who is running in 13th position for Sauber. Coming into, and oh, he's got a problem as well, and you can see the left wheel. Something is clearly not right with that, if that's above the right wheel there. So unfortunately for Gabriel Gomez, it looks like he's out as well on the same lap. So 2 cars out in the space of 2 corners there. For Gomez's suspension has failed, so that's his retirement. And shame, after he had such a good race. Singapore taking P5 on the 1-stop as well. Oh no, and De Rossa has just absolutely clattered into the back of the Toro Rosso there of Enis Parachki. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know why Parachki was going so slow in the corner. I guess for the yellow flag where Gal was. So looking on board with him, Gal was clearly off the circuit, I think, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. So for some reason, Parachki just went really slow into the corner, and that caught De Rossa quite rightly out by surprise, and so he ran into the back of Parachki there. I have no idea what on earth that was about. That was really bizarre. I've never seen anything like that, really. But so we're looking on board with Parachki once again. So he's coming through the left hand, and the yellow flag, obviously, as you can see, is out. And he comes through. I guess he's probably wondering where Gal is, and then just suddenly slows. There was Gal. I mean, I guess you could say because Gal's car was there, but still, it was, I don't know, that was a bit weird. I don't know if anything is going to be done about that or not. I imagine the stewards might take a look at it, I'm not sure, but a bit weird nonetheless. But this was obviously Gal, who was running in P5, just off the back of Franco Lopez in the Mercedes, but of course that's when the engine suddenly caught on fire right across the start-finish line, and yep, that was his race out, as you can see right there. So there we go. So Red Bull out, Sauber out, and that means that Ford cars are now out on lap 5. So that's very unfortunate, of course, for him, but good news for, of course, all the cars behind, because everyone else moves up a spot. But of course, and you can see actually there was Gomez coming up on the screen there as well, having the suspension failure. So yep, 4 cars out. So Joel Hutter will move up another position, but he's got the 2 Force Indias behind him who are looking to get him. And as I said, De Rossa and Parachki is going to be under investigation. As I said, it's just really bizarre that I've never really seen that before. It did look like kind of like a brake check, really. But anyway, back to the action. So at the moment, our car is still running in third. He has dropped a couple of seconds off Willows, so doesn't seemingly have the pace at this moment in time. Lopez is nowhere near him, though. Tomaselli at the moment, actually, P5 at this moment in time. As you can see, he's got Joel Hutter there, and Hutter goes wide, and he's going to rejoin, and Moitin takes 6th position there. I wonder if he might lose more there, but with Joel Hutter not really having much of a better race, to be honest. So, see here, coming into the first score, you can see, locks up and misses the apex. Goes wide, and Moitin says, thank you very much, and take the position. So I wonder if he doesn't get overtaken anymore. I'm not sure, but he's dropped off, and oh, yep, there we go. And there goes now Children, he goes past as well. So he's down another position, is Joel Hutter, down to 8th. So now we're looking at our car in the Ferrari, who has just made his first stop of the race. 6 seconds. So out of the pits he comes, of course, taking the lead just ahead of Volker by, I think it was 2 points, I believe. And yeah, it was incredibly close, of course, but of course, at this moment in time, he will relinquish the lead if Volker wins. And now here's Roke trying to get past Evan Byrne. He's been stuck behind him for quite a while. Byrne not going to let him go through very easily, including the fact, yeah, just English and Irish, you know, they don't really get along, do they? Anyway, as we're looking through, Volker, who himself actually is pitting his laps. The car pitted actually pretty early as well. I didn't actually see earlier on how much fuel he had, but actually didn't see. Actually, come to think of it, he pitted actually before Volker did, and he seemingly wasn't that fast. So, I mean, maybe he's trying a very large undercut. I don't see it working, but you never know. So Volker's going to come in for his first stop as well. So on lap 11, I'd imagine it's going to be 2-stop. I don't really think that anyone would do a 3-stop, considering the fact, of course, how there's not really that many laps, of course, only 53 laps, and Volker now comes into the pits for his first stop of the race. Now he'll want to do better after Singapore. Of course, Singapore was a crash fest, and hence why it won't be on the calendar anymore. I'm pretty gutted myself because I quite enjoy these kind of races, but yeah, it is what it is. As Volker comes in, changes all 4 tyres, and let's see how much fuel do they put in this car. I didn't see how much cars it was actually. 20, so yeah, I'd say that's probably going to be I think that'll be us. At the moment, Joseph Willows leads the race, but of course we all know what happens when Joseph Willows leads a race. Yeah, he doesn't win, but who knows, that might change today. But at the moment, of course, it is Willows in first, Lopez in second. Now Volker comes out of the pitch, crucially, actually ahead of Tomaselli, so he actually is quite a bit ahead of Carr now, so he's going to keep his lead. So Roland Moitin is going to come into the pitch this lap as well. Hutter himself has actually got a lot of fuel still left. Of course, Carr is now behind Hutter. Now here is Roke behind Byrne, and is he going to try and make a move on the inside? No, Byrne once again defends, so Roke's still stuck behind. Of course, actually Titkoff is actually not is pretty close behind too, so Titkoff doing a decent job at this moment in time in the man in front of his home crowd, of course, wanting to impress. Otherwise, yeah, who knows what could happen to him. But Roke still can't get past. He's been stuck behind, I think, pretty much since the start, really. Now here's Roberto Gamma trying to get past the other manner of Jones. He's going to go for it into the first corner. The answer is no, although Jones goes a little bit wide. Gets a bad run through there, so this could be the chance for Roberto Gamma to get through. He's going to try and make a move on the inside through this long left-hander, almost like 180 degrees nearly. Now he's trying to get through, and he's not going to make a stick. Although, no, he might do it now, because Jones went wide. And Roberto Gamba's through. That is P13 for him. So he took advantage there of Jones's mistake, fortunately. So he is up another position. But of course, Roberto Gamba will be needing to get to those points. Of course, he'll feel hard done by. Of course, they got shoved off essentially by Roke earlier on in this race. So of course, he won't be too happy with that. So we're looking now at Franco Lopez, who at the moment is running second, Volker third. Now Roland Moitin is coming in, so that's one less car to deal with. But unfortunately, he's not going to get anywhere near Volker, as it looks like he has got the pace at this moment in time. So as we look at Moitin now coming into the pits for his first stop of the race, let's see how much fuel is put into his car. And no sure, actually, not that many, but I suppose hitting probably around the lap 30-ish mark, I would say. So he comes out of the pits, and he is going to come out outside the points. Now George Roke is going to come into the pits as well. He'll wanting to, of course, jump Evan Byrne, as he's been stuck behind him for 14 laps. So we'll see if this works out for him or not. So as he comes in, and so Titkoff actually now temporarily will go into the... No, he won't actually. He's coming to the pits this lap, so never mind. Tikoff is in. But so far he's put in a pretty good performance. So we wanted to get some points as well. Tomaselli is going to pit on this lap as well. So Tikoff and Roke come in. Tikoff puts in 18 laps, so pit around the lap 30ish mark. Roke of course goes out ahead of him. He had, I think, I couldn't quite tell actually, that went too quickly off my screen. Tomaselli is going to come in of course this lap. Willow's still going on for a little bit more. Now here is Roke, who is coming out of the pits, and there's Tikoff, there's Roberto Gamba. So fortunately Tikoff kind of saved Roke there, because of course he was coming close to obviously being Roberto Gamba being behind Roke, so kind of saved him really when you think about it. But so Lopez is going on for quite a while. As you can see, he's still got a lot of fuel, so it looks like he's going to be doing what is known to be the one stop. Now here is Hutter, who is trying to get past Rodomotion. Unfortunately for our car, it's really not worked for him coming out in that traffic, because unfortunately he's being held up badly by these two who are battling, and they're not going to be pitting anytime soon. So Carl really needs to get past these two very quickly, because he needs to be careful, because I mean Franco Lopez could even jump him at this point if he's stuck behind them for much longer. So as they come towards the last couple of corners, and so he'll have the run, but so will Hutter of course, and now Tyrrell, as Tomaselli of course is now in. So as they come down past the pit straight, Tomaselli of course is in. So at the moment now Tyrrell is temporarily 4th, Hutter 5th, and Carr in 6th. But now here is Carr all over the back of Hutter, coming towards the first corner. And is he going to make the move? He's just about on the inside. Is he going to go for it? No, he's not quite got the power. So not enough there for him, unfortunately. So Tomaselli is now coming out of the pits, and he's going to come out, it looks like, ahead of George Rokes. That's important for him, as now Turin had a very weird line coming through there. And is he got a bit wide? No. And he's still coming through. Unfortunately, Carr, it's really not doing good for his race, being stuck behind these two. For Volker, fortunately, it's going all swimmingly at the moment. So Willows is going to be pitching in about 6 or 7 laps time. Of course, now Volker has actually caught up to the back of Lopez, so I wonder if, I suppose Lopez will do him a favour, but of course they're on completely different strategies, so I imagine Lopez will just let Volker through, and seeing the fact, of course, well, I suppose Lopez is still in a title fight, but of course they're on different strategies, so I wouldn't imagine Volker would appreciate it if Lopez would hold him up, and I don't imagine he's going to. He's going to attempt to go through in the final 2 corners. They're not going to work, but he surely just go past him on the front straight, I would think. So as they come through, they're right behind each other. So this should be a pretty standard move for Volker, as he's in the slipstream of Lopez, and now coming off through turn 1. Now Volker's going to move to his inside, and surely he's just going to dive down the inside here. Or Lopez is going to let him through, is he? No, he's not. Surprisingly not. No! And a little bit of smoke there. I think Carr and Hudson made contact there, as Carr tried an unusual move into the penultimate corner. It's not really on. They make contact, actually, fortunately not to spin or go off either of the two. They stay on, nonetheless. So they're still obviously carrying on. Mercedes, surely Volker's going to get through this lap, maybe. This has got to be the one. And speaking of being the one, will Carr finally make the move past Joel Hatter is the big question. We're about to find out that answer. Now here is Sontag being overtaken and locking up by De Rossa himself, goes wide, and now Sontag goes back past him, and so does Parachki as well. Double whammy there. Unlucky. And so this was the onboard from Sontag. Made a mistake, and then, yep, there goes De Rossa, launching it past him. Outbraked himself, and, yep, Parachki said thank you very much, took the place, and of course Sontag did in front of him as well. Now into the pits this lap comes now Tiranen for Force India. So let's see where he will come out in this midfield pack. So of course he'll be doing 2 stop. He's actually quite low on fuel, as we've got a yellow flag out on the circuit. And oh, Lean Campana is off, and he's out now. And what happened here? This was Roland Moitin who was trying to overtake him. Did he have contact, or did he spin off by himself? And nope, he went off by himself. And Moitin was lucky to actually get through that. And I wonder if the car behind, I think that's of Tomaselli, got through as well. So Campana went wide, spun, and just about avoided the wall. And then, of course, as he was rejoining, then decides to go into the other wall. Not good. Now, Volker still can't get past Lopez at this moment in time, but as I said, unfortunately, Carr is still stuck behind Hutter, so it's not really having much of an impact. Volker's still trying to get through, and he can't. I don't know how far, actually, Willows is ahead of Lopez. It wasn't that much before, but I'd imagine, need you to see what the gap is. And now Turin has come out actually behind Roke, actually. And oh, there was, I think, a manner that went a bit wide there. I think that was Jones in the battle with Laura Chung. And now Turin has come out actually in 11th position. So he'll be on for shows. And at the moment, Maxim Titkov is in 10th. He's in the points to the delight of the Russian fans. I think it is a legitimate points finish as well. So at the moment, Willows is coming to the pits. And actually, look at the gap. It's 15 seconds. It actually is quite a bit. So I wonder, actually, Willows, the gap about 25 seconds to Hutter. So Willows could actually possibly even well, I say no, Carr was already in winning the pits already, but Willows could possibly get ahead of Carr here if he's still stuck behind Hutter. So this could be very interesting indeed, of course. And with Lopez pitting, well, he's only doing the one stop, but Willows will not be far off him. So this could be interesting. Actually, I'm not sure who exactly is going to win this race. It could be either the two Ferraris or either the two Mercedes. And the incident between De Rossa and Pratsky, no further action, surprisingly, I guess. But I guess they gave it probably the benefit of the doubt. So there we are. But anyway, Willows comes in. The gap's actually up to 16 seconds to Lopez. So, as I said, with Volker holding him up, it'll be a bit pretty frustrated, Volker as well, at the fact that he's being held up by his teammate here. Because if he was clear, he would be by far the leader of this race. So Lopez still ahead of Volker. It is difficult to overtake on this circuit, so of course Lopez will take the lead. Willows will drop down to third, but will he get ahead of Hutter and Carr? That is going to be crucial in this race. Now here's Volker. He's right behind Lopez, and surely this is the move. And no, Lopez still defends. Lopez really wants to go for this win. Of course, he still is in the title race, so I guess he really doesn't want doesn't want to give way. And of course, Volker's pitting soon, actually, so at the moment in time, Volker is really being kind of stood up by his teammate. And the question is, I want to see, is did Willows come out ahead of Carr? And the answer is he did. He did come out ahead of Carr. Or he came out ahead of Hutter as well. But crucially, in the actual order of things, he did come out ahead of Carr. So at the moment, Willows is on, I'd say, for the win. That is for sure. And, yeah, I think Willows is possibly even the favourite. Because Volker's going to be pitting soon. Willows is only 7 seconds off, and he'll be closing that gap really quickly because Volker still can't get through. So I think Willows could be the favourite to win this race. Well, I say the favourite to win this race. He could be the favourite to win this race, but the question is, will he actually win it? Because, of course, as I said before, he's had numerous amount of bad luck in the last few races that prevented him from winning or doing well. Singapore was the last race being one of them. So that is, yeah, who knows? I don't know who's going to win this race. It's either going to be a Mercedes or Ferrari, but which one? Which of the four? So at the moment, Volker still can't get past, and he's not pitting for another 6 or 7 laps or so. I wonder actually if he does go to the end, Volker, or not. I'll be interested to see if he does. But anyway, so Volker is now right behind Lopez once again, coming onto the front straight. Willows is already closing the gap. It's already less than 5 seconds. I imagine it's probably going to be about 4 by the time he comes over the line. And yes, it is. It's now only 3.7. So Willows is coming. So Volker needs to get it done now. Otherwise, well, he's not going to get it done there because Lopez once again defending. So Willows is going to be onto them probably at the end of the next lap, maybe even this lap, because they're holding each other up so much. They're slowing each other down a lot. So here we go. This is going to be a fascinating battle for the win here. So we're nearly halfway of this race, and there's Willows. He's so close now, and he's the favourite really. As now we have Joel Hutter, who comes in for a pit stop for Red Bull.
Just prepare yourself.
And so he changes all 4 tyres, and he is he going to the end? No, he's not actually. So was that Joel Hutter's first stop? I think it was actually. So he's going long on this stint. He'll be very quick at the end. I'm not sure if that's really going to be worth it, but hey ho, he comes out. It looks like just ahead of Roberto Gam. So he'll come out in what is going to be the last point spot, 10th. Now here we go. Look at this. Willows has caught up, as I suspected, insanely quickly, and there we go. So, yeah, he's not going to be able to make it stick here. So he's, as Lopez takes an unusual line, but Volker against, he's not been able to get through on the sit. Willows is right behind, so Willows could buy this time. Carr obviously is going to be pitting in a few laps' time, so I wonder. I don't know if Carr will be going to the end or not. He probably will, I think. I'm not sure, but this is what is legitimately the battle for the lead. As I said, Lopez, who's still not going to be pitting for another few laps. Ballard, actually, I'm pretty sure the fuel was, I can't remember if that was, that said 3 for Lopez. If so, he might be pitting before Volker, because that could be interesting as well. So that is very, very interesting indeed. So as we're looking at Volker once again trying on the inside, but failing. And so Willow's now right behind the Ferrari, right behind what was his, of course, ex-teammate at Ferrari, I should say, Florian Volker. And we have a yellow flag out on the circuit somewhere, and where is that? And it's Joel Hutzer who's out, and it's a double retirement, a DNF for Red Bull. So let's have a look at what happened to Hutzer. Was it a mistake or did he crash? So, and it looks to be a mistake, was it? Yep, it was a mistake, and Joel Hutzer, having just pitted on cold tyres, is going to get nothing from this race. So, yep, not a good day for Red Bull, unfortunately. That's all that can be really said about that. So, yeah, that's it really. So now Franco Lopez has come in, and he has come in before Volker, so surely Lopez is going to the end. If he doesn't, then Mercedes have made a big boo-boo here. So he pits. Surely he's going to go to the end. And yes, he does. 30 laps. That is enough for him to make it. So here we go. It's interesting to see Lopez. He's managed to keep Volker behind. I'm surprised he did. But, of course, that is important for him in this race. But the question is, of course, will Willows be able to get past Volker? He's still stuck behind him. It's not easy to overtake here, as we know. There's Moitin coming in the pits. Roke is close behind Tomaselli in the Sauber. So, as we look at Roland Moitin coming in for the pits, and is he going to go to the end? The answer is no, he doesn't. So he's going to be on the 3 as well. So looks like there are a number of drivers that are going to be doing the 3 stop here. Moitin is one of them. So now into the pits comes Armar Carr for Ferrari, and as I said, unfortunately for him, it's just not really, the race has not quite worked out in the way that I think he would have liked. That is all that really needs to be said about that. And so as you look at Titkoff at the moment, is going to be in temporarily in P6. What a race he's had. We haven't seen much of him really, because we've been focusing on the battle up front, but Titkoff is going to take a 6th position, although he's got now Tiernan behind him, who himself is going to be pitting once more. Titkoff actually is going to be pitting, I think, this lap I just saw. But I wonder if Titkoff might go to the end or not. But Roke is actually pitting as well. He's coming out of the pits. Is he going to come up behind Moitin? I think he might do so. And Carr does come out ahead, I think, of Moitin. I think I'm pretty sure, and the answer is yes, he does. Roke has come out, I think, behind him, but of course he'll be on fresher tyres. So there's just a whole lot happening in this race. But of course, I think crucially, I didn't see if actually Carr was going to the end. I didn't see. Oh, Lopez is off, and Lopez is off, and he's made a mistake. And Lopez has made a mistake and lost his wing, and that has surely just eliminated any chance he had of victory today. And that is crucial for the in the title fight as well. He would have taken the lead, because as I said, Willis has still not got past Volker, and unfortunately Franco Lopez has surely just thrown away a possible chance of victory. Quite incredible here, as the Sauber behind actually of Tomaselli, almost, and Tomaselli is actually 3rd, no, he's 4th actually. Well, no, he will be 3rd. Now he passes Lopez. But crucially, Tomaselli is running in 3rd position, and of course he's pitting in a couple of laps. But I imagine if he pits in a couple of laps, he'll probably go to the end, I think. But Volker actually... Oh, no! Oh, no, I can't believe it. And they're going to double stack Mercedes, because Volker is coming in this lap as well. Unfortunately, actually, he's well clear over, so it might not affect him too badly, but we'll see. They need to do a quick stop here, Mercedes, and get rid of him. And they have done, so Volker actually does not go to the end. So the big question is actually, when Lopez comes in, which is, of course, now, will he go to the end? Well, of course he will. Of course he will. I don't know why I even asked that question. He was already going to the end anyway. So are we on another set of fresh tyres? And I think the crew are actually ready for him, I think. So yeah, that was about perfect timing, really. About as perfect timing as you could make it. But Lopez, of course, will be going to the end. He was anyway, but of course this is just an unnecessary hitch in his way. So yes, Titkoff is in. Roke is now free. Of course, all these guys are going past Lopez. Of course, he's going to the end, whereas all these guys are not. So who knows, actually? I don't even know what the order is past it. So it looks like it's between Willows and Volker. So it's a 1-2 for them. But who actually is running in... So Tomaselli is actually running in 3rd, but he's pitting in a lap or so's time. But of course, Tomaselli actually is legitimately in a battle for the podium here. this is quite critical, as now Willows is trying to lap a manner there. I think that is of Etienne Jones. Now here is Chong on Parachki. They're becoming very close, as Willows now finally goes around the manor there. Gets held up a little bit, but finally does get through. Tickhoff actually, after his stop, has come out in 10th. So at the moment, Maxime Tickhoff is running in the points, and Tickhoff, I think, is the only driver this season who's yet to score any points. So this would be his first points of the season. Now Tomaselli is coming into the pits this lap, so that would be now Tiernan would now temporarily take third position. He's going a lot longer than what, of course Tomaselli will be, but Tomaselli, I would imagine, is going to go to the end, because I said if he doesn't, that would be a really naive thing to do, because the guys behind him all will have to pit once more, whereas Tomaselli, if he does go to the end, won't have to. So let's see if Sauber play it right here. I hope they do. I really hope they do. So he comes into the pits, and let's see if he goes to the end. I would imagine, I think he's surely going to go to the end. I think he will. So he comes in, and let's see. And
no pressure.
17. No, he doesn't. Oh no, Thomas! Come on, Sauber. Why? He would have had a certain podium if he had pitted before. Well, if he had gone to the end on this field, he could easily have done so. So I think Sauber have definitely missed a trick here, because if they, as I said, he would have been in a battle for the podium, because Lopez actually had just gone to the pit. So at the moment, now Turin is third, Carr is in fourth. I don't know how he slipped behind. Yeah, he slipped behind now at the moment. Now Turin is third, Carr is in fourth, Moish in fifth, Roque is sixth, Tomaselli is seventh, Lopez is eighth. Although Tomaselli is making a mistake. Oh no! Tomaselli goes wide. That allows Lopez to go past. It was an unnecessary error there from him. He didn't really need to make that, but he just needs to keep calm. That's given the position to Lopez, though. So we've got a huge battle in what is set to be the battle for the podium. So at the moment, Carr is stuck in a Force India sandwich, and he'll need to use the Force if he wants to get past here. This is not the situation he would have wanted to be in. He's in a battle. He's in a Force India sandwich. Roque is there as well in this battle, and Roque, of course, has not yet got a podium this season compared to his teammate Franco Gamba, who has. And Volker's got an issue. Volker has got a problem. Florian Volker's out, and he is out of this race. And that has, that has just handed victory to Joseph Willows. Quite incredible. And Florian Volker has an electrical failure. I can't believe what is happening here. So now we could. What is happening? I don't know what is going on. But oh my word! So now this is about up a second. So now Turin, incredibly, in the Force India second. Willows is gone. Forgetting about him. So at the moment now Turin is second. Carr is third. Moishin is fourth. Roque is fifth. Lopez is sixth, and he is in this battle for second. Tomaselli is seventh. Byrne is eighth. And wow, this is quite. This race is really taking a turn. But Carr, if he was just, he'd be wishing he's through. At the moment, it would be a Ferrari 1-2 if he was through, but of course he's not. Oh, another problem. And De Rossa is out, and he is pulled off. That is coming down what is essentially the front straight there. And so he is out of this race, and I think that was an electrical problem. And there is a wheel there that is in a very precarious position there, as the Manor of Jones is now out of the pits. So now here they come. There's the wheel. There's the wheel. No! And now Turner's hit the wheel. Oh, and so's Carr has hit the wheel. Incredible scenes here, and coming through. And oh no! And oh my word, Moichin has just completely punterinoed Carr into the first corner. And Omar Carr, who would have taken the points, I should take the points lead, who would have extended the points lead over Florian Volker, is now out of this race. What on earth is going on? I don't get it. I just don't understand what is happening. So gutted for now Tiernan. He is now pitting. Moichin is incredibly in second. Roque is now on for third, but he has Lopez behind him. And Omar Carr had the perfect opportunity to extend his lead in the championship, and it's gone. It is gone just like that. That's all. But also, crucially, of course, that's great news for Willows. But even more, that is great news for Lopez. Even if he was to win, he wouldn't take the lead of the championship. And he's not going to win today because Willows is just gone. But, as I said, if Lopez finishes on the podium at least, well, Lopez has the perfect chance to close the gap to the top two at this moment in time. But let's just take a step back and let's have a look at this replay, shall we? So this was Carr. He was behind now Turner, and then the wheel is there. And then of course now Turner hit it. Carr hits the wing, unfortunately, And then as he's going to turn 1, suddenly, out of nowhere, he just gets absolutely punterinoed by Roland Moitino. I'm pretty sure, actually, didn't even get any damage from that, because he just carried on. Let's have a look at this again. So, from Moitino's view, you can see what is happening here. And there was the wheel. You can see Moitino avoids it. Goes past Ross's car at such high speed. Moitino just launches it. Look at that. Where did he come from? Just incredibly, just absolutely, just crashes into him. Byrne, actually, does he get any damage? And he just about avoids all the debris there. So,
okay, no pressure.
Now Turin is in. He'll go to the end. He'll feel really hard done by now, Turin, because he was on, of course, for the podium. And speaking of podium, Joseph Willis comes in for what's going to be his final stop. And it looks like, at this moment in time, barring any issues, it is going to be his day. But who knows what is going to happen? I mean, that just took a dramatic twist there with that wheel. And, yeah, just as an armor car is out, of course, this is good for Willows. I mean, if Willows does win, he'll still have, I'd say, a slim chance of the title. But I think if he doesn't perform well in the round after this, which I believe is Japan, then I think he'll be out of it for certain. But if he wins here, he'll get himself back into it just about, Willows. But speaking of the podium, we are looking at what is a battle for third place. That is between Franco Lopez and George Roque, of course. George Roque looking for his first podium of the season. He's had an unbelievable season, of course. He'll be going back to his old team, Force India, for next season. So he'll be looking to carry on his good form to there. But the moment Moitino actually is clear, he's got a gap to Roque actually as well. He's about a second at this moment in time. Now Turin, of course, is running in 8th. Byrne is pitting soon as well. But of course, I think that was Titkov who was in 6th position, I think, was it? Or was it 7th? But at this moment in time, Maxime Titkov is running in the points. And so to get his first points of the season, it looks like at the moment, he's now 6th because Byrne is, I think, pitted. So, oh no, he hasn't actually. No, oh no, actually, it was because Titkov actually overtook Byrne. So there we go. What happened here? And Byrne, look at that. Great move by Titkov. Goes past Byrne there. Gets absolutely mugged. So Maxime Titkov, what an incredible performance he's putting in front of his home fans. And he goes past Byrne up into 6th position. And of course he's pitting soon as well. So he's in a legit battle with Byrne. Now here we are looking at this battle once again for P3. And I said Tomaselli's actually in this as well. 4 Sauber behind. And so of course he could still get the podium as well. Moitino, well, he's in the chat, but so I mean, yeah. But I suppose that I believe that incident between him and Carr is under investigation. So we'll see what happens with that. But as Moitino comes across the line, we've got 13 laps of this race to go. Here's Enes Parachki, who is coming through the final two corners and making a mistake. Unfortunately for Parachki, it's been yet again, unfortunately, a very forgettable race. I guess I suppose he did the had the incident with the McLaren earlier on, or I'll call it the brake check. But yeah, it's just not gone well for him yet again. He's way off Chung in 12th, and I don't think he's going to get any points today. But as we look at... oh, Lopez has made a mistake. Here we go. Lopez has made a mistake. That could allow Tomaselli to get through. And Tomaselli is through up into 4th position. And, yeah, I mean, this race is just insane. Lopez is really not helping himself. He doesn't really need to be making these stupid mistakes. I mean, he's got a title that he could win. And at the moment in time, of course, he could take advantage of the fact that both his 2 title rivals in front of him are out of this race. So he needs to not be making silly mistakes and just concentrate. I mean, he's in 5th, so he'd gain points on them, but obviously if he got 2nd at least, he would really gain. I think it would be less than 10 points, I'm pretty sure, if my calculations are, well, I think about 10 points, I think it would be, nearly, if my calculations are correct, which they probably aren't, but anyway. Roque closing up actually to the back of Moitino is now less than a second, of course, and Lopez now trying to get back past Tomaselli. That relieves him, of course. Roque going the longest, I think, out of the guys in the battle for second, as Jones running 11th. He's set to be lapped by the Hungarian of Moitino, as Felix Sontag is in the pits for his final stop of the race. So as Jones comes across, he'll temporarily take 10th position, but I think he's going to let the car through. Is he? Nope. I thought he would, but he's still got the blue flag, of course, so he'll need to get out of the way of the faster cars when he can. So he goes through, well, essentially turn 1. And now I think actually behind Tomaselli and Lopez are battling, but I don't think Lopez got through, and the answer is no, he didn't. So, about to go. Now Roland Moitino is coming in for his final stop of the race. So, of course, he'll be going to the end, and now this battle for now what is temporarily second is continuing between Roque, Lopez, and Tomaselli. But of course, Laura Chung who's just pitted, is on fresher tyres than these guys as well. So who knows what is going to happen. But of course, Mojin pits and will of course be going to the end on this set of tyres and fuel. I believe that was Evan Burners coming to the pits on this lap as well, I think. Mojin will come out, I think, would he come out behind Titkoff? It was close. But Byrne is in as well, so there we go. He is in, and it's been a pretty quiet race from Byrne's perspective, really. I suppose he held up Roke in the first stint, but it's been kind of forgettable since then. Now Roke is behind Etienne Jones. Tomaselli is pitting this lap. Lopez is going to the end. So at the moment, actually, I think Lopez, of course, I forget he's going to the end, is going to get P2 at the moment. All he needs to do, just really not make any mistakes. That's it. Just don't make any mistakes. That is, well, I say that. Easier said than done, as Roke has now finally got past the Manor, and now Chung, who of course is much quicker than these guys, trying to get past Lopez. So I mean, Lopez might as well just let Chung go through, really, because Lopez is in the battle to try and get the last points on the board as they come through the end of the back straight. Tomaselli is pitting this lap, so Chung will want to get by, of course. Well, I want Lopez to speed up, really, because Tomaselli is coming into the pits this lap. Of course, Chung is trying to get to the last points on the board to at least get something from this race. So Tomaselli now comes into the pits for his final stop of the GP here in Russia. So he comes in. He'll go to the end, of course. Gracious, of course, actually, he'll come up behind Moitin. The gap is about 20 seconds, so he'll come up behind him, but he'll still... would it be interesting to see, of course, if he does catch up or not. But yeah, I mean, for Tomaselli as well, from his perspective, it's been a pretty amazing performance. I mean, this race itself has just been absolutely unbelievable, really. There's no no other way of putting it, really. But yeah, so we're looking at Tomaselli now coming out of the pits, and Maxim Titkoff is going to be pitting this lap. He'll temporarily take P5, but of course he'll be pitting, so Tomaselli needn't worry about him. As I said, Titkoff himself has had a great race. There's, of course, Mojin, who's gone through. Those at the moment in third. Roke is unbelievably in second, but of course he'll be pitting right now. Now this is the battle for 8th. This is between Byrne and Roberto Gamba. So Roke himself, who's trying to get his first podium of the season. It's been a great season for both Haas drivers. I think much better than I think they ever would have expected. It's been unbelievable. That's the only way, really, of putting it. But of course, there's still there's not many laps to go, but there is still 8 laps left, so who knows what could happen. Got a number of pit calls, of course, but Lopez will, of course, go by, and I think he'll have second place in the bag. Titkoff is in, and so is, I think, Roberto Gamba's in as well. So as we look at Roke coming towards the pits, Jinx to the right, and oh, there we go. Now this is interesting. So Mojin has received a 15-second time penalty for causing the incident with Armor Car. Now that is very, very interesting indeed, because Mojin now really needs to get the hammer down if he wants to get a podium from this race. He's not going to get second because Lopez is going to get it, so he's just going to have to hope that he still gets third. So Roke will come in. He'll come up behind Mojin, of course, and now Titkoff is coming into the pits for his final stop of the race. As I said, from Titkoff's point of view, it has been an unbelievable performance from the Russian. As I said, I mean, I've said it numerous times, but of course he looks set to get some decent, well, his first points finish of the season, I should say. I mean, this is no mean feat. Now here's actually Roke coming out of the pits, and is he going to come out ahead of Tomaselli? And the crucial thing is, yes, he does. So Roke comes out ahead of Tomaselli, and now they're both going to close up to Roland Mojin, who pitted earlier than both of them. So as I said, Mojin just needs to get that 15-second gap, and I'm not necessarily convinced he's going to be able to do it. But who knows, I could easily be wrong. So as we look at Roke now, who's going to be on a mission to try and so he doesn't even need to overtake Mojin. As long as he's within 15 seconds, it's fine. But speaking of being within 15 seconds, of course, Chung was right behind Jones there in the battle for the last points position. Now Roberto Gamba, of course, is in the pits too for McLaren. So, and yeah, there we go. And so Lopez at the moment, comfortably in second. I don't think Mojin is going to close him before the end. I don't know what the gap is, although Lopez does make a little lock up there, but no harm done. Now this is the battle for the points, so this is the battle for the last points. We've got a battle, this is between Jones, Chung and Parachki. 2 Toro Rossos versus the Manor, and Chung goes through there. Making a mistake was Jones right there, and so Chung made it through. A pretty good move there by her, so fair play. Very good indeed. So Jones took a bit of an unusual line, but he took an advantage there. So, and yep, Chung goes through. So now Chung moves up into what is 10th position. So now here we are looking at Jones, who is now under attack from Enis Parachki behind. Can't quite make the move there, so he has to hold the. So he holds the position, does Jones? So well done to him. But of course, unfortunately for him, he's out of the points now, which is not good for him. Not what he needed at all. Looking at Franco Lopez, who at the moment is struggling, and oh, Lopez makes another mistake. And Lopez really just needs to get to the end now. Moichin is 10 seconds behind. Roke is 3, and so Thomas says that at this moment in time, Roke would take 3rd, and Tomaselli would take 4th. Because the gap obviously would not be enough, because the gap is only 6 seconds to Tomaselli. So it's at this moment in time, Roke could actually get his first podium, albeit not actually on the circuit, but he'll still get it. So we have a yellow flag out of the race. No! Oh no! Are you kidding me? And Maxime Titkov is out of this race. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? With just 2 laps to go, Maxime Titkov gets a suspension failure while running in a very respectable 7th position. He was going to get some great points, and his suspension collapses on him. And there it goes. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That is genuinely heartbreaking for Maxime Titkov there. He is out of this race, and he's going to get no points. You really got to feel for the guy. You really do. But now we are currently looking at the race leader, Joseph Willis, and he is actually going to win. It looks like no problems for him. It looks like he is going to win this race. So, of course, pretty much after all the drama that happened behind him, Volker retiring, car getting out of the traffic, it all in the end just turned out Willis's way, and that's glad, because I said he could have easily won any of the last 3 races, really, and he's had just a lot of bad luck, and finally, for once, luck has gone his way, and he'll be very happy that it has, because at least he'll get a win. Will it put him back in the title race? I mean, anything's possible. Could catch it up. It's going to be a hard ask, but he could still do it. Joseph will certainly be delighted if he does. So at this moment in time, Lopez, of course, is in 2nd, Moichin 3rd. At this moment in time, Roke is going to take 3rd on the circuit. Tomaselli has dropped actually a little bit behind Roke, but he'll at least get 4th. Well, we're coming around, looking at Joseph Willows, coming around for the 53rd and final time, heading towards the final 2 corners of the circuit. He's had a lot of bad luck in recent races, a lot of it not his own fault, but Joseph Willows has taken victory on merit today. And Joseph Willows comes around the final corner, and he is going to win the Russian Grand Prix. So well done to him, he definitely deserves that one. Now Jones does hold off Enis Parachki for the last point, with Sontag just behind as well. Now Tyrrell's 6th, he could have been in the fight for the podium as well, but he'll get 6th. But it'll be pretty gutted, it could have been more. Evan Burns set to come across the line in 7th position for Renault, and across the line he does go. Roberto Gamba is set to come across the line in 8th. I don't really remember seeing that much of him in this race, to be honest, but he'll come across the line, and he comes around the final corner, and there we go. He'll take 8th, and Laura Chong is set to be in 9th for Toro Rosso behind. And now Franco Lopez will take 2nd position, so wasn't an easy race for him, but he'll be pretty happy that he's got 2nd. I said Moichin is actually closing the gap, only 2.5 seconds just about behind him, but fortunately Lopez will take 2nd. Of course, this will be crucial for him in the championship, with both Volker and Carr not finishing this race, and now he is going to take 2nd, so he'll close up on the front 2 in the title fight. It'll make it even more interesting. So he's going to come around the final 2 corners and take 2nd, but of course behind, Moichin has Roke right behind him. So Moichin is unfortunately, despite coming 3rd on the circuit, he's going to have that taken away due to that penalty for yeeting Amar Carr. So it will be Roke taking 3rd position, so he'll take his first podium of the season. Moichin will be down to 5th as well, because now Chinnen was lapped, so Moichin will drop down to 5th position. As here we are looking at the confirmation of the final race results, with Joseph was winning ahead of Franco Lopez 2nd, George Roke moving up to 3rd for his first podium, Palino Tomaselli 4th, Moichin unfortunately down to 5th, I'm in third. I'll be pretty gutted with that incident, really. Now, Turin in 6th, Byrne in 7th, Rottergamba 8th, Laura Chung 9th, Etienne Jones 10th, completing the points, Enes Parachki 11th, and Felix Sontag was 12th. As he got still classified as well, despite that suspension failure. You really got to feel for him more than anyone else. With the following drivers all retiring: Armakar, De Rossa, Volker, Hatter, Campana, Gal, Gomez, McKenzie, and Franco Gamma, with Florian Volker also setting the fastest lap of the race, a 1:33.653, which I believe is nearly a second faster than last season's, I think. But here we are looking at the driver saying, so the gap between the top 3 is just 11 points now. So it is incredibly close. I was nearly right with my 10-point prediction. Willow's moving up behind. He's just about in it, but needs to win, I'd say, next round to have any chance. Palino Tomaselli actually moving up into the top 10 of the championship, replacing Chung for 10th. Moichin and Nautrina both also moving up, both on 39 points as well. Moving ahead of Jamie Casey and Gabriel Gomez. De Rossa there in 16th, Rottergamba 17th, 18th, Campana 19th, Enes Parachki 20th, 18th, 21st, and Magny Titkoff, the only driver yet to score points, crucially and very unfortunately taken away from him in such a terrible way as well. Mercedes still leading in the constructor standings, although Ferrari is still not that far behind. Red Bull in 3rd, and amazingly Haas are less than 100 points behind them as well in 4th. Renault in 5th, Sauber just behind them in 6th, Force India, Toro Rosso, McLaren, Williams and Manor completing the standings. And there we go. That was the Russian Grand Prix, pretty entertaining as it always is in Russia. Don't forget to, as usual guys, vote for your driver of the day and get the racing rating out of 10. Thanks for watching guys, we'll see you for the next round, the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Don't forget to also check out all the links in the description, Twitter, Discord, Wikia, everything like that. Thanks for watching guys, and we'll see you later.